All right, guys, so if you thought what we've done to the F12 so far has been wild, it's about to get a lot crazier. We are going to completely disassemble this car. We are going to yank every single part off of this car, so at the end of the day, it's gonna be a bare chassis. Tim, can you grab the Ferrari parts bin, please?
Delivered.
Let's go.
Mike, wouldn't it have been a little bit easier to take this out when you took everything else out of the car? Why are you doing it now?
Well, it would have made a lot more sense, right? So, it kind of started off weird. We knew we had a dead turbo, which was like, okay, we got a dead turbo, it's not a huge deal. But then when we dug into it a little bit more, we found that metal debris, the shavings in the oil filter, in the engine oil pan. We had set a pretty hard budget and time frame to get this done, and having to pull the engine out and tear it apart was not gonna fit in that timeline or that budget at all. But after discussing with Damon, the right thing to do is to pull the engine out, open it up and inspect it, because these are not easy to find. This is similar to the FF engine, similar, but not the same. This makes about 80 to 100 horsepower more than the FF.
We don't want that one.
We don't want the FF.
We need all the horsepower.
We want the F12 engine in the F12. With that being said, we're gonna pull this out. Now, we're gonna pull the engine out. We're gonna inspect that at a later point after we get everything disassembled. But while we have all of this original Ferrari stuff out of the car, we're gonna leave it out. So we are going to take every single piece that Ferrari made for this car out, and we are going to be done. We're gonna basically be left with the chassis and the engine. Every other part on the car is going to get replaced. We're going to replace the entire wiring harness, the entire electrical system. We're honestly going to remove almost every single part that Gintani has custom made for this car, which is kind of a bummer, but it was designed to be a street car slash kind of race car, but it doesn't really fit in any of those categories perfectly, and we are turning this into a full-blown race car, all out. And to do that properly, we need a standalone engine management, we need PDMs, we need sensors, we need EGTs, exhaust gas temperature sensors, in every single one of those 12 cylinders, so we can get the engine tuned properly. Because if we do put it all back together, and if the engine is okay currently, the way it's running right now is pretty high strung, and to do a couple rips down the street is one thing, but to go and really beat on this thing at a racetrack needs to be done properly if we want this thing to live.
But this car will stay twin turbo, right?
It will stay twin turbo.
Okay, so
that's my understanding of it. Damon, don't change this on me again. It's gonna stay twin turbo.
So it'll still be a screaming V12 twin turbo F12.
Flame shooting, anti-lag.
Yeah.
So whatever it's doing right now, it's just gonna get crazier.
That's true.
We can change the fuel now. We can go to port injection now. So we have complete control of everything on the engine and the drivetrain. We can do no lift shift. We can do a lot of really cool stuff. I have never pulled a V12 engine, which means I've never pulled a Ferrari
This is gonna
V12.
be heavy.
It's big. There's a lot of braces and stuff in the way. The twin turbo kit sits up and out, so it can't go down right now because it's gonna hit the frame. Some of this stuff is removable, but we have to pull the turbo off first and get an idea. If we can drop it out the bottom, that's gonna be ideal. It's gonna be the easiest way, basically take it down with the subframe, kind of like how we did the rear suspension. There's so much stuff. It is so packed in here. And like even these exhaust shields, like, okay, pull the bolts off the top. No, there's bolts on the bottom underneath the manifold that we can't even reach from here. We have to put the car up in the air to get these. It's gonna be interesting. You know what, I'm hungry and we gotta get this car apart. But first, we need some food. I'm tired of eating fast food. So we've got 3 Factor 75s in the fridge. We're gonna get those open up, chow down, and then we're gonna get to work. All right, let's,
Yeah.
yo.
Mike, dude.
Where they
I
at?
thought you said you had 3.
Ah, Dave was here.
You hungry? I got you covered because we have a brand new sponsor here at DDE, Factor 75. They're epic. I've been eating them for the past few weeks off camera, just trying them out, and I am addicted. So this summer, get Factor and enjoy eating well without all the hassle. And enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered straight to your door. Ready in just 2 minutes. No prep and no mess. It is really this simple. Poke it a few times, fire it in there. 2 minutes on the clock, we'll be eating in no time. Best part, it's cheaper than getting takeout. Affordable in the fridge, ready to go. Oh bro, you ready to try it?
I'm excited.
The real debate is, does it taste good? Now, I've tried it, I love it, but right now, for the first time, Skinny will give his professional eating opinion. So start over here with the coconut lime curry tofu.
I normally don't like tofu, and that's really good.
It's really good. It's the flavor. There's so much spices and flavors in this. It tastes super, super good. Tomato and roasted vegetable risotto. Look at that risotto. My favorite right here is the pork chop.
Really? Dang.
Damn.
Dang.
Even broccoli.
Really thick.
Tastes good. Choose from over 34 chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options that promote a healthy lifestyle and feature premium ingredients. You can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 45 add-ons, including breakfast items like delicious apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, and potato, bacon, and egg breakfast skillet. For an easy wellness boost, try refreshing options like cold-pressed juices, shakes, and smoothies. Conveniently add on filling options like a salmon or filet to your Factor meals to support nutritional goals. Head to factor75.com, click the link below, and use code DDE50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Out of here! Get out! Because I love you guys, I have your back. Your first order, 50% off. Right now, go to factor75.com and use code DDE50. Get half off your first meal. Skinny, are you a customer for life?
I definitely am. 100%.
Is it better than your wife's cooking? That'd be a yes.
All right, well, we don't have any of these in the fridge, unfortunately, but we're gonna order some more right now. Tim, what do you want?
I think I want the chicken Alfredo pasta. That looks good.
I want the barbecue pork sloppy Joe.
Nice. I think I'm gonna go with the chili barramundi. That sounds really good. Now I'm really hungry, but we don't have anything right now. These will be here soon. Let's get back to work. All right, well, we're making a mess already. We've already had to get the Ferrari tool out. See if that'll work. Stripped Allen, so using a Torx to kind of create some new grooves in there to see if this thing will pop out. Nope. All right, the other Ferrari tool.
Good as new.
Make sure we keep that one because we're gonna reuse it. Hey, there's the ECU. This is one of the things I'm talking about with factory wiring. This is the mass airflow sensor. So normally this is in the intake and it's seeing how much air is going into the engine. It needed to be plugged in for the car to work, even though it's not working. It's sitting in here and it's just a sensor that's sitting in this box that's not doing anything, but the car wasn't happy without it. So weird. So I'm so happy to be able to get rid of these things that just are gonna cause us headache in the long run. All right, let's see if there's anything in this side. It looks like there's something in there. I mean, look at all that debris in there. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Tim, you wanna grab a rag so we can kind of scoop that out of there? But there's, I see a flake in there. Yeah, it's definitely shiny bits on there. It's probably a good thing we're taking this engine out. Just look at this like cluster of parts here. So we've got the engine water cooler, the radiator. We've got the air conditioning. We've got an oil cooler. And then we've got probably a power steering cooler over here that's leaking a lot. So many things that we need to simplify on this car. All of this stuff is packaged in a way that it works, like I said, from the factory. But this is not gonna be a factory car anymore. There are going to be so many changes to this car, it's going to be insane. We may put the radiator in the back of the car for weight balance and also better cooling, because we'll probably do a front mount intercooler instead of the water to air intercooler that was in there. It might not get as cold, but it'll be cool enough. Yeah, pull the clamp off of it.
Yep. Okay.
What is even going on?
So that's part of the intercooler piping. So basically, compressed air comes out of here, goes around this snake tube, and then into another tube that goes over here, that goes into the water to air intercooler, and then goes into the engine. So we're gonna change all of this, not reuse any of it. We're going to probably cut these off of the turbo, change the elbows, make them tighter, Like I said, the radiator probably won't even be here. We want to run the intercooler piping as short as possible with the smallest intercooler as possible. Now I know a lot of people think bigger intercooler the better. Technically, no. The bigger the intercooler is, the less efficient it is, the more pressure drop you have across the intercooler. If the turbo is cranking out 30 pounds of boost and you have a really inefficient large intercooler, you might lose 4, 5, 6 pounds of pressure through that intercooler. And the bigger it is, the longer it takes for the turbo to make enough air to fill all that volume. So you have a very unresponsive car, a very laggy car. So we're gonna try to simplify everything, but also make it as efficient as possible. Oh. That one's stuck? This one's stuck too. What? Oh. Oh man. It's like everything we touch is just like, oh, nope, there's a problem here, there's a problem here. Look inside the intake manifolds. Look at all that oil. Oh. Made it.
Made it.
Made it. Look at how complicated everything is in the front of this car. We've got the water lines, you got air conditioning lines, you got... Mark, check this out.
Oh, nice.
Who did that? Alex, is that you? Check this out. We've got the oil cooler lines here. This is the oil thermostat. More hard lines running over there to more soft lines. The dry sump tank's back there. This is the water line with a thermostat in here. We've got a pump, we've got a bypass valve or a bypass hose through here. So when the thermostat is closed, basically just circulating the water through the engine and not going into the radiator or allowing very little into the radiator. And then this is probably a pump for the heater so that when the car is not completely warmed up and the radiator is still cold, the engine temperature gets up quicker and then you can pump hot water into the cockpit basically for the heater to work. So all of this stuff that's just based for a street car, they might have dual climate control in this thing. Like I said, I don't know, I never drove the car, but all of those things that we're gonna have to remove and all of this, like the air conditioning lines. This is the oil T line here that goes to the turbo, so that's the oil feed.
Ah.
Not sure where it's coming from yet. There's so much stuff we can't see. And I mean, look how packed it is. It's got, this is the, is that the alternator there? Or no, that's the power steering pump. So we've got the lines that are like a quarter inch away from touching the pulley over there. It's just a mess. If we had to work on this car at the track, it would be an entire day if we had a leak or something in there to pull everything out to get to that. So just tons and tons of work to simplify this thing. But like I said, in the end, it's gonna be worth it.
Oh!
Oh, there's more water. There's always more water. Got it.
How you feeling, Mike?
I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just taking parts off. We could just cut the harness, but that goes like against everything I believe in. It got put in the car this way. We can take it out of this car the way it came from the factory. Now, some of the wires I did cut, there was aftermarket stuff. That's just a little bit more complex and we're not gonna reuse it. But if somebody needs a harness for an F12, we've got one. That's complete, that's not cut.
So it's just hanging up on these wheels. Yeah, they're just on the backside, so
There we go. We've got, I think, the majority of stuff off that we need to get off to pull the motor out of the bottom. So looking at it coming out the top, I don't think so. All of these braces, the steering rack's in the way, which we could remove the steering rack, but it's pretty tight right now. I think the engine has to be out for it to come out easily. So we're gonna try to drop the engine out of the bottom. Got the harness out of the way. So this is all the engine harness. Everything's disconnected here. I'm sure there's a lot more stuff on the bottom that we need to disconnect, but we'll get it up in the air. Look at whatever else is connected to it, drop the engine out, and then we can get to all these wires that are kind of wrapped around here and connected, and it's just so tight to work on right now. So far, good progress. Get the car up in the air and see what else we need to take off. Oh, good shot. All right, so I think we're at the point to get the lift over here. We'll put that underneath, we'll lower the car down, and then we'll pull out all the crossmember bolts and hopefully just lift the whole car straight off the engine. There might be something that's left, but we can't see anything on the back. Also on the sides, it's still really, really packed in here, even though we got all that stuff out of the way already. Well, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, looking good, keep coming. 6 inches. 3 inches. 2. 1. And yep, that's good. So now that we're almost ready to drop the motor out, a couple bolts left, we can really start seeing how the car is assembled. So everything from all of these reinforcement beams, these cast parts that are welded to the extruded aluminum, and then also on the engine here, how everything is routed. So we've got the alternator on one side, we've got the air conditioning and power steering pump on the other side. Engine water pump is actually down here, and I don't know if it's driven off of the timing chain or if it's driven electronically, but there's so many things that you just can't see when the engine is in the car. I'm looking at all of these things to try to just basically figure out what we need to change on the car when we put it back together. Having a good idea of what it looks like now is very important so that I don't have to put the engine back in and out and in and out to try to figure it out. I'll already have an idea of this needs to get changed, this needs to get changed, these things can get moved around, how we're gonna add roll cage tubes from the main cage inside the car forward to the shock towers, and maybe get rid of some of the stock bracing. So that's all kind of going on in my head right now. All the different ways that we can build the car basically, and how to make it as easy as possible to work on, but also to make the chassis as stiff as possible and make the engine as reliable as possible. All right, Tim, start going up. Hold on.
Wow, that was fast.
All right, Tim, ready again?
yep.
All right, let's do it. Yeah. Yeah, keep going. I'll tell you to stop if I see something. Hang on. Let me check this dry sump line on the side. That's out of the way there. Got this water line.
Still got water.
Still got water. It's always got water. I think we're looking pretty good. Now we just need to watch the manifolds
Okay.
clearing the frame rail.
This side's super clear, so maybe we can move the cart over a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, we might be able to back it up a touch because the intake manifold sticks out and it's going to hit the sway bar.
Okay.
So after we come up, I'll push the cart back,
Okay.
and I think that'll work. Yeah, we're there right now, so let me see if I can get the engine to go back a little bit. Ooh, that's going to be too tight. I got to pull these off. So we've got this Allen here, and we don't have a short Allen. So we're gonna take one of these cheapo ones. We're gonna cut it and make a short one. Short Allen, ready to go. All right, now we got room. Let's go up. Yep, keep going. This hose like touched here and it bumped a little bit, but I don't
Yeah,
think there's
we're clear in
anything.
the back and this side.
Yeah.
So, ready to hit you again?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep, keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. Keep going. More. More. Let me move this. Try some line again.
Yep.
Okay. Go some more. 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 Keep going. Keep going. Go.
Caught on something on that side again.
It's touching the exhaust here. All right, now I got it out.
Ready?
Okay, go ahead. Yep. I just want to make sure the car's stable on the lift, so let's roll the engine out. I'll just keep my hand on the car just in case.
Watch your step.
First thing that I'm looking at is how difficult it is to get the coil packs out to be able to basically service. We have a bad coil pack, if we have an issue with a spark plug, something that a race car needs a lot is spark plug checks. So that really tells you the health of the engine and how the tune is. So being able to pull the plugs quickly and easily is very important. So we're gonna change this. This isn't a bad heat shield. It's a nice heat shield, but the way that it's bolted down to the valve cover makes it really difficult to get off. So we'll find another way to fasten it. We'll either make some studs that come off of some other bolts that are easy to get to, and maybe just 2 of them instead of 4 of them. You can see like these fell out, or somebody took them out at some point and couldn't get them back in because it's so tight inside the car. Building a better heat shield system there, being able to get the wastegate off easily. The turbo is already V-banded, this is already V-banded, but that bolt down there is super hard to get to. There's a nut on the backside. You have to hold the nut to be able to back it out. So that's got to get changed. There's a lot of things that we're gonna have to change. All right, so we've got the engine out of the car now. We have quite a few things left. We've got some dry sump lines, some water lines, some breather lines. We've got a ton of the electrical stuff left. We got to pull the steering rack out, pull the suspension off both sides, get the sway bar out of here. We got the horn over there, booster, ABS system, all these heat shields. So we got quite a bit of stuff left to take off the car before it's a bare chassis. But looking at how it's built, it's pretty interesting. So we've got some basically crush zone up here, and then this big cast area where it just starts getting stronger as it comes back. Really interesting. And it is going to be a challenge to build a cage that comes through the firewall that lands at these points to stiffen that stuff up. Maybe they're even going to be removable depending on how they come out, but being able to remove the whole brake system out of there and have it open like it is on this side right here is going to help a ton. And build a bracket or something that comes in here and a tube that goes over there. Lots of ideas. The Ferrari wiring harness is an absolute nightmare. So it goes, all of the front end stuff on each side go through this grommet, and then all of the wiring on the inside is connected. So we have to basically fish this all the way through here. But not only that, there's also wires that go down, and those wires go down, then they go under the car, running with the brake lines, through here, through the wheel well, all the way up here, up to something else back there, down here, across, over. Got a plug for a relay back here. It goes into some other module here, and it went to the exhaust valve. All of that, the whole harness is basically one piece, front to back. So if you get clipped in the corner, or if there's a damaged wire or something here, it's not like you can just go, oh, okay, and unplug a plug and put a new piece of section of harness in. It's the entire thing.
How much would that cost? Let's say, you know, you get in a little fender bender, get cut off.
I mean, the $10,000 or $15,000 for the harness is probably the small part, because look at what we're doing to get to the harness. The whole car has to come apart. So if you damage the harness, the only way they could fix it is basically by cutting the wire, soldering, or making a connection there, because there's no way you're gonna tear the entire car apart to pull the harness out to replace it.
Did you know this before you took it apart?
No, I didn't know this. Like,
This would
as
have
we're
been
taking it apart.
such a nightmare.
Oh my God, it's, like I said, I am very, very happy. We are ditching all of the factory electronics, and then we can make our own, route it how we want it, make it serviceable. It's gonna be a lot of work.
Dude, this is so much stuff. Oh my gosh.
That's one side.
What?
So we got the entire other side to do.
Almost there, Mike.
So close. So close. Couple more plugs. So glad that's over. I might shed a tear.
Well, the brakes didn't work anyways, so
Yeah, we didn't need those.
it's not really an issue.
Oh, that thing was heavy. So we got almost everything out of the chassis. We have a few brake lines left. We've got breather vent lines, a little plastic thing for the air conditioning inlet. But for the majority of the chassis is bare. The whole wiring harness is in the interior, just sitting there. It's heavy. I need another hand to get it out of there. Check this out. That's the wiring harness for the chassis, front to back, left to right, the whole thing. So the only other wiring is the engine wiring. Now, we gotta get this thing off the lift. We gotta get it back into the back room for now, so we have this lift open. Last time the car was a lot heavier, and we picked the back of it up, and it was still heavy. I don't know how much it weighs now. I wonder if we can just pick it up with 3 of us.
3 of us. I got this, Mike. Let me tell you, brother. I'm gonna do it this time. I couldn't do it last time. I can do it this time. Get the dolly, get the wooden dolly. I think we should still have one somewhere.
We have one.
I can do it. Let's do it. All right, Mike. I'm here with my dolly. It's just gonna be the 2 of us. You guys are good to go home. Just let me know.
Just you and your dolly.
Just let me know where I need to put it, because I don't know where I should put it in the back. I'm thinking I'd lift it from the front, not the back, because I have some sweet handles here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just pick it. Yeah, just like that. You see, Tim didn't actually lift it right there.
Hey, I'm under here. Don't lift it up yet.
Okay, that's the spot.
That's the spot.
You better not be trying to sabotage me, Mike. Here we go, guys.
Tim, get that arm. Dude, look at that balance.
We don't even need to lift it, do we?
No, it's, well, let's see if that dolly holds, but.
All right, here we go. Woo! Okay, hold on 1 second.
It's a risky move there.
Okay, let's go, boys.
It's like one of those simulators, Mark.
Onward! Let's go! You hit the brakes. Hit the brakes, Mark. All right, guys. We got the car back in the back room. It is currently hovering on one of our dollies. Cross your fingers, it'll be like this tomorrow when we show up. We got a lot done today, but there is so much more to do. I hope you guys are enjoying this build series. Well, teardown series so far, but we will be building it up soon. So please like, subscribe, and come along this journey with us.
All right, Mike, you get one shot, man. Are you gonna make it?
All right, let's see.
No.
Yes!